And welcome back to the second match of this best of three between Insurance Fraud and Reputation Cartel. What a finish on that last match. It was a photo finish on that Oneros surviving by the skin of its teeth before the timer expired. We have here is a very interesting matchup between three legions, and Oneros and Algos and three Mollusts on the blue side.
Hey there, I am Seldarine and Insurance Fraud Inc. on the red side are here with three Tangoos. These are heavy missile launcher Tangoos in at range, and they have those Tangoos with a scimitar and triple sabers. So that is a 7-man team we have here from Insurance Fraud.
This should be fascinating. These Ham legions will have about between 20 and 40 kilometer range, depending on ammo type. The Tengus will be able to project damage easily out to 100 kilometers. The determining factor on that, however, will be these three Molluses on the blue team and how much they are able to damp down the locking range of the Tengus. The three Molluses should be able, if they focus their damps on the Tengus, to lock them down into Legion range on their actual locks, but what we're already seeing are these sabers burning out around the legions to get to the Molluses and take them off the field.
What these Tangoos need to make sure is that if one Tango does get caught, the other two Tangoos are as far away as possible from its action, but still within missile range, to make sure that the shorter range missiles of these legions, the legions have to travel further to project that damage, but with the longer range missiles on the Tangoos, the entire time they can be hitting these legions with their missiles.
Absolutely, that is something with a three Tengu strategy that you see is the three Tengus just kiting off into three different directions. That way, unlike a lot of other team comps where you want to stick together with your team. In this case, you do not. You want to have as much time to apply your missile damage as possible, and that means spreading out and making them chase you around the field. We see Radjit's Maulus being the first to take damage from these sabers, but the Oneros is able to keep him alive right now. He has no shields but full armor. Meanwhile, Jamie's Score Saber is taking shield damage. We have not seen reps yet come in from Mesh Marillion Scimitar.
Yep, Raja is struggling there in his Molus, but the reps of this Aeneas appear to have caught him. But you're right, Hemi's score in his saber he's hemorrhaging hit points. Look at that, he's in the structure already, and boom, he is down. So that is quite possibly a match turning loss for Insurance Squad, as they're struggling to inflict any damage onto this blue team right now, as Raja in his Molus is still being effectively healed by Cyber 10 in the Aeneas.
And you can see that the Mollusk is being target painted. They really want to get this Mollusk down. These Tengus realize that if they can't get these Mollusks down, this team is really in trouble. And another Saber drops almost instantly for the red team, leaving them in a lot of trouble. They are going to have to come in and brawl these legions if they don't get those Mollusks off the field. And right now, with what they have left, I don't think they will.
The problem that the red team have right now is, as I was saying earlier about the Tengus splitting up, so they can just get as far away from these legions and do damage. The problem with being that far away is you also need to lock that far away. And what the blue team, have are these molluses, and you can see in our control bar there, and in the locked targets, the damps are on the Tengus, so they are severely range restricted. And it seems that some of these Tengus are just not able to lock any targets in the blue team, and that's why we're not seeing any more damage.
What I would not be surprised to see is once these legions clear off the Sabers, if they are able to force the Tengus in and tackle one, they will switch their damps to the Scimitar and force it either into range or into being irrelevant. The Scimitar, as a Mimitar ship, has a natively very low lock range, and a couple damps on a Scimitar will absolutely push it under 20 kilometers or less in terms of its effective repping. We see the Oneros turning on its ancillary shield booster. It takes a significant chunk of shield damage only to rep it all back, but now it got volleyed into armor. These Tengu volleys landing doing significant damage against a ship that tanked against kinetic. I can only think the Tengu switched damage types in order to do this. He's now at 1/3 armor and dropping at every volley.
Cyber 10 is just barely hanging on, really, really barely hanging on here. He is dropping into armor, but it appears that armor leakage has stopped. Maybe some extra damps have become effective on those Tangus. He might have pulled range to get as far out of the range of those Tango missiles, which probably go about 125 kilometers. However, right now he is gaining health, and it doesn't look like he is going to go down anytime soon. Looking at the bans that these teams made, however, if you turn up in 3 Tangos, the last thing you want to see on this field is enemy sensor dampening. And their bans were a Curse and a Sleipnir. So they've banned out Cap Warfare, and they've banned out some fast Mimitar battlecruisers. But they've left themselves wide open to the offensive dampening of this blue team. I can't help but think if they had banned out some of these Molluses, which are one of the most popular dampening frigates, or ships in fact in this tournament so far, but things could have turned out better for them in this match.
That said, they are getting Cyber 10 into structure here. He has blood, just a hair of structure. His armor is gone. I can only think his ancillary shield booster is in reload, and he will die with the next volley if he doesn't get some HP back very quickly. Meanwhile, Radjit is already taking damage. They've switched to him. They may get these molluses down. Fat for Saber has not been able to get taken out. You've seen Damps pulled off of Ganrider, put onto Blue Melon, and Mesh, the Scimitar, so they are trying to damp down the Scimitar, take out the Saber, but I don't know if they're going to have time to do that. This may be a turning point in the match, turning back the other direction. Bob Sheftos and the Algos also at half armor. There is no repair left on the blue team side.
I could not agree with you more. It's amazing how the dynamic in these matches can quickly change. With that logistics gone on the blue team, these Tengus are just free to start blowing stuff up as we see another ship explode. And the Mollusk of Radjit is taking more damage again. And these Tengus, without the logistics support in the blue team, they are going to kill that Mollusk.
Indeed, this is going to be a very interesting match to see how this pans out. Live from the stage now into deep armor, Radjit into deep armor, Faffer Saber almost into armor. We see Ganrider's shields disappearing as well. This match is really going very quickly now. We will see, but it could go either direction right now. There is really no telling. It looks like there's a web on Ganrider, which is why we see damage being applied. Damps across all three Tengus and the Scimitar, but the damps may not last very long.
Yep, Ganrider is webbed and there's damage pouring on him, but the red team still have their Scimitar, who is repping Ganrider, but he's not repping him enough, and looks like he's just going to start leaking into armor. And when you are when you are in armor in a Tengu, you are generally no longer in a Tengu, as we can see as Ganrider explodes. That's the first Tengu down for the red team, and that is not a good position to be in.
Absolutely not. I think they stressed Mesh out just too much between putting damage on the Saber and damage on the Tengu. We do see two of the Molluses now down, so we're down to 3 Legions and a Mollus against 2 Tengus, a Scimitar, and a Saber, but I still think blue team has the advantage here. They have far more damage left on the field, and the Saber will drop, leaving 1 Scimitar and 2 Tengus against 3 Legions at full HP, and a Mollus also at full HP.
You're correct there. The damage output on this red team just does not look like it's up to the task right now, as these Legions are veering in for, it appears to be Mesh Brilliant and his Scimitar. He is their new primary, and already the blue team are winning on points, so if they can kill this Scimitar with 3 minutes left in the match, even if these Tengus just run away, it looks like they will take this victory on points. As Lex Fasces and his Legion, though, is taking considerable armor damage from these 2 remaining Tengus.
Desperate times for the insurance fraud team. You can see them pouring damage onto Lex Fasces' Legion. He is pushing into armor here pretty deeply, but I'm not sure if they're going to get him down. 2 minutes 50 and change to go, or 2 minutes 40 and change to go. We will see if he's got ancillary rep on there. He may be able to keep up. I don't know if they will catch the Scimitar. The Scimitar is awfully fast. 2 kilometers a second. He's just bumping up and down. He's dropped down to 1200.
Yeah, that Scimitar is overloading when he can to escape the relatively short range of these heavy assault missile Legions, as Lex Fasces and his Legion is going down to about 2/3 armor. With 2 minutes 20 on the clock, will there be enough time for these Tengus to kill this Legion? As for the blue team, are they going to continue trying to catch this faster Scimitar, or are they going to try and split up and get tackle on some of these Tengus?
That is the question. I'm not sure what these Legions have in their mid slots, though. Do they have tackle? It seemed the Algos in the last 2 matches for the Reputation Cartel has been their heavy tackle. Bob Shaftos did, in fact, die chasing down something to tackle, so I'm not sure if they have webs left. I have not seen any on the field since. Lex Fasces still holding at about 2/3 armor. Glasscutter's Mollus also into armor now, and he is taking more damage.
Well, nothing has been webbed yet because nothing has got within web range since that happened, and the Tengus are desperate for some points here. They're taking down that Mollus, but that Mollus alone would not be enough to give them any extra points, so switching to that Mollus was not necessarily a particularly clever move. With 1 minute 20 on the clock now, they should just be hammering into Lex Fasces in his Legion just to try and kill that Legion in the time remaining, and each second they waste on that Mollus is a second they are not going to have to kill that Legion.
Indeed, the 3 Legions points is more than 2 Tengus and a Scimitar. So they really do need to drop one of these Legions if they hope to win this match. Insurance fraud, they have no choice. There is no recourse here. They need to go back after Lex. They did get the Maulers down. Perhaps they're trying to free up enough lock for Blue Melon to continue to kite. All the damps were focused on him, and perhaps he just felt he was too much in danger to get into range and put damage down. You see Max Venture now taking damage, which is an interesting switch in primary. We'll see if they can effectively blow him up.
With 34 seconds left this game, I find it highly unlikely. It looks like this is going to be a narrow victory in points on the Reputation Cartel in the 27 seconds remaining in this fight.
Amazing, very evenly matched teams here. We're seeing these matches go to time. Damage is pouring in on Max, but as you say, the clock is ticking faster than the damage is ticking. I think at this point the Reputation Cartel knows it. They're not really burning after these Tengus. They're just kind of hanging out and letting the time expire.
Yeah, I think you're correct. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and this match is over. And the Reputation Cartel take this victory on points. So for this match overall right now, we have 1 victory for the insurance fraud, 1 victory for the Reputation Cartel. So we will be back soon for the deciding match, and this will see who goes through and see who goes home.